All right, the Senate now working to overhaul Obamacare, and lawmakers are looking to other countries like Australia for inspiration. But is the grass really greener on the other side? That's the question. Here to discuss, CEO and author of Green Card Warrior, Retaking America, and Australian native, as you're going to find out with the accent here in 2 seconds, Nick Adams. Nick, thanks so much for coming on this morning.
Good day, Rob. Real pleasure.
Yeah, good day. We love that. All right, so we're talking about health care here. And I know Democrats like to compare us to especially Baltic states that have much more entitlement, and Australia has a healthcare system that I think is it runs very well. But you're saying that a system like that, which is successful in Australia, would not work well here in the United States. Tell us why.
No, you really can't compare the two, Rob. There are so many differences. There are cultural differences, there are policy differences, ideological differences, and then there's geography and a few other bits and pieces thrown in as well.
Yeah.
We're really looking at Australia. When you think about Australia, it's a big island.
Right.
But it's only got the population of Florida.
Yeah, and it's a huge amount of space. Yeah.
That's exactly right. There are more Texans than there are Australians, just to put it into perspective.
Yeah.
So, number one, obviously, economies of scale. That's something that you've really got to consider.
Yeah.
Number two, we don't have any countries that border us. We're all by ourselves, so we don't have the pressure of illegal immigrants or people from other countries venturing into Australia to come and
you can't get there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the second thing. And the third thing, of course, is that, look, in Australia there is a view that healthcare is a right. There is a view that from the time that you're born to the time that you die, medical costs should be covered, and taxpayer expense is very high. And there is a totally different culture here in the United States. It's a sink or swim. It's an initiative-based one. Risk, capitalism, all of that. And that's why you could never, ever have the Australian system here, because I don't think American people would ever buy into this idea that it's an automatic thing.
And not saying anything's wrong with the way any country does it, but we do things different here. And that's what I always think about. When you hear Bernie Sanders, he makes his great comparisons to some of the Baltic states, some of the Northern European places. I've been to the Netherlands, I've been to Sweden, I've been to places where they have, you know, healthcare works as a right and stuff like that. But these countries have populations of 3, 4, 5 million people. It's a lot easier to put systems in place there, and everybody there is a native Swede. Everybody, you go to Amsterdam, everybody is from the Netherlands there. So there's it just works differently because you don't have this influx of people. We have 11 million illegal immigrants in this country. You know, it's a lot different when you're trying to pay for this many people with a system of entitlement.
Yeah, America is far more diverse. It's uniting a much greater swath of people, and for those reasons, what happens in other places you can't translate to America, nor, Rob, really would you when you look at America's track record. This is the greatest country in the world.
Yeah, that's why we got it so good, and it's very, very different. All right, okay, we're going to go to another topic here. We're going to talk immigration. You are an Australian immigrant here to the United States. The president talking pretty tough, and there's a couple bills in the House. One is Kate's Law, which is that young lady, I think from California, that was killed by an illegal immigrant. And then the other one, a second bill as well, that is going to just toughen up illegal immigration in this country and our immigration policy. What do you think about these two laws as an immigrant yourself?
Look, I think it's fantastic. I think that President Trump has done more than any other world leader in history to crack down on illegal immigration, and I think that the administration's very strong force behind these two bills, making it very clear that they want these two bills to pass, is a wonderful thing. It should be impossible for bad people to come to the United States, and if they do come once and they're deported, they should never, ever, ever be able to come back again. So I'm fully behind that. As someone that had to wait in line, as someone that had to pay tens of thousands of dollars, it's just not fair.
No, I completely understand that. And I do meet a lot of people that, you know, come from places other than Mexico, which has the convenience of a land border that you can get across. And I mean, these people wait forever trying to get in here. And like you said, they pay money, they have to marry someone illegally. It's a much different way to move into this country. And it's much tougher.
It's the best country in the world, but you've got to do the right thing to come here.
All right. Thank you so much. We do appreciate you coming on.
Thanks.
All right.